Settings, default. All right. Can you hear me now? Yes, sounds like it's working. All right. I have no idea why that happens all the time. It would be really nice if it just would work. But hey, sometimes we can't have nice things. All right. Sorry, starting a little bit late today. Been just busy with other work stuff. And I'm excited to start working on gMusic again. It's got to work on some fun stuff last week. For those who weren't in last week I'll actually show you. Let's just launch it up and play with it. Switch screens. Last week I worked on something really fun. I worked on some like the audio visualizer stuff. We did Skia. We use Skia to do some of the analyzer stuff or visualizer stuff. So it does like draws lines and things when the audio is playing, which is really exciting. Made me happy. Also, I found out that the old gMusic on Mac was crashing. I talked about that on my stream last week, and I couldn't get it to build. Apparently, I needed a special build flag. I have a weird build, so things were different, but the Mac team knows what to fix on that. But my crash was caused because for some reason, the collection views work very differently now on Mac. There's some exception it throws about a bad selector. So I have to dig in and figure out what's going on. But I just removed the collection view for now, so I have music again this week. Super exciting because it's hard to code and not have any music in silence. Some people like that, but I don't want to be left alone with my own thoughts. It's scary. Very scary. All right. So while this is loading, we get to decide what we want to do this week. I actually haven't thought about it yet. So let's bring up some of our old agenda stuff. I stopped following it or stopped updating it, but it has some good ideas of what needs worked on. So if any of you guys have any ideas or if there's anything you want to see, last week we worked on some of the UI for the audio player. Oh, come on. You're not logged in? Which simulator? Because this is the Pro. I've been doing it not on the Pro. I've been doing it on the XR. Right? XR or the XS? I think it's the XR. We'll see in a second. Let's close the simulator. Or I could just log back in. Probably wouldn't be bad to log in. Let's just log into this one while that one boots. You off screen. Alright. Come on. You know you want to move off screen. Simulators are not clicking. My CPU is at max. Let's hope I don't have to restart my machine. Why is Windows Server at 100% of my CPU? Simulators booting maybe? Alright, so there we go, it's going. Horrible frame rate, but it's moving. Alright, so I'm gonna log into that really quick. The other one's gonna actually be in ahead of time. And gets that one. Hey, the other one's already logged in. Alright, we're just gonna ignore this one. I'm gonna shut it down. Kill that simulator. Alright, so last week we were working on some of the album stuff. So when you go into an album and you tap into it, it looked nice and pretty. I remember working on that. And then also, you'll notice that this song, you'll notice that that one, since it's the currently playing song, is grayed out to let you know. But more than that, if I press play, you can actually see some little lines bouncing around. And those lines, as you guys, if you were watching last time, actually are right with the audio. It's the left and right audio channel, what the volume is. Pretty cool. And those are just drawn with Skia, which was really interesting, and got that working, which was really fun. And it was tricky to get right because of me not clearing the background. It was causing some weird artifacts. But hey, it's working, and it's always on the currently playing song. Should be. Oh, that didn't update. If I scroll, will it? Oh no, that's not the song it went to. It went to Here's Your Letter. I wonder why. Okay, and it is working. So, really cool. All right, so that was last week. You guys voted and chose to work on that last week. I wonder what we should work on this week. I know we still need to build like the equalizer view, which is kind of crazy. Let's launch the old device. iOS 12 XS. This one has the old gMusic installed and logged in, so we can actually see the old equalizer view. Wonder what else. Actually, I wonder why this is not playing the right song when I click on it. It's having issues playing songs. I bet something's it's really weird. Why is it doing that? Stop, start. It's only downloading songs. They're only playing songs that are cached, I think. Which it should have prompted us to log back in if that was the case. All right, so while that's going, launch this one. Interesting. Yeah, it's not actually downloading, so something's up. Okay, so on the old one though, we have things a little bit different. What else are we missing? So we have the search, my music, artist, album, genre, playlist, songs and playlists. We've got all that. Radio we have. Settings, we are definitely missing the offline only. Oh, we haven't done anything for offline. That could be tricky. But this equalizer view is an interesting one. Toolbar at the bottom. The grid in the middle of all the weird sideways sliders. And I want to actually edit the behavior for how this thing works, because right now if you edit one, you're actually editing the default ones. It should make a copy of it and let you like rename it so they can be whatever, so that way the original ones are never messed up. However, you can go to any of the original ones and just say, hey, reset, and it'll reset back to default anyway, so it's not the end of the world if you mess one up. So you can just go reset, and we go. Okay, maybe it doesn't reset in the UI. That's funny. We'll fix that on this new one. Dance. Okay, it did fix. It just didn't update the UI, so that's interesting. Okay, maybe we'll do the equalizer view. That's going to be a tricky one. We haven't done anything with the equalizer yet. All right, let's do it. Why not? Actually, I did commit everything last week, right? We're up to date. All right, just making sure I didn't forget to commit last week. So let's start. And whoa, a bunch of people just showed up in chat. My number, why is that number showing 17? It is really high. I wonder what happened. All right, so let's start building this new view. We're going to jump into our root view, because that's where we add in our new pages. It's funny, because one view says 9 and one says now it's back to 9. Why, hello, Zergberg. Welcome back again this week. I think I'm going to work on the equalizer view, unless anyone has something better they would like to build. But I think the equalizer view will do. Right, so we're going to say add new equalizer, and actually what are these? These are just content pages, yeah. So we'll do add new. We're going to go to forms, make it a content page. And I think I'll do this one in XAML. I think XAML will be useful here. Yeah, that'll make sense for this one. This will be equalizer view. Okay, so let's jump into our equalizer. And looking at this one, maybe we can get this one to hot reload. We'll try, because this one's not a list view, and I was having issues with list views before. And it's in the stable branch, right? Because I downgraded to stable today. Why XAML for this one? I like doing things in C# a lot, and maybe I will do some of this in C#. I think I'm going to do a thing, but just because the layout's just so simple, just do a grid, split in half, or just do a grid to where we have two things. These ones are left aligned, these ones are right aligned. This is going to be in the middle, and then the toolbar at the bottom. I just think it'll be really easy to lay out in XAML. And then we'll probably, I need to decide how I'm going to lay this out. In the old one, what it does is it does the math. So it can do that, which looks really, really funny. Let's be honest, it does. But Don't know what else to do. It's just so many sliders in a row. And I'll have to do something in C# because the rotated sliders and just those are programmatically added based on the number of bands, because you could switch to, instead of the 10 band, switch to a 3 band. And I've thought about that because sometimes 3 band's simple and is good enough. But I don't know. Let's go with that for now. But that's why. Just because that layout looks so easy to lay out in XAML. All right, so let's get this thing on screen. So I just want to look again. This lives under settings. Right here. We'll say new navigation item equals, use our localized strings, strings.equalizer. Okay, put a comma there. And then we just create a new page. We can say, oh, we need to do the images too. New, what do we call it? Equalizer view. Did I do the? I did not do the equalizer yet. That's right. We will just jump into there. And I'm typing on a new keyboard, so I'm not used to it yet. I think I'm getting used to it. Icon equalizer, there we go. Perfect. I spent a good half an hour, 45 minutes with Carabiner last night, changing all of the way the keys work. So it actually works like I would expect it to, because there's odd modifier keys in the wrong place. So I changed them to do what I want them to do. If you haven't used Carabiner, I highly recommend it. I actually was able to get a lot of the special function keys that came on this Windows keyboard to work inside a Mac, which was really exciting. Like the lock button. You can press the lock and it'll actually lock my screen, which is kind of cool. And like my favorite is there's an emoji button. That's awesome. I have an emoji button now on my keyboard. So Carabiner. Carabiner Elements. If you haven't used it, it is awesome for fixing keyboards, but for the different OS. Okay, so now if we run this, actually really quick before, let's also go to equalizer view. No, strings. And my hotkey is this. No. Obviously I didn't get all of them right, because why is that not doing the right thing? All right, that hotkey works. I have my keycaster on. Let me bring that up so it's in the right place, so you can actually see it. So strings dot equalizer. Weird errors over here on my streaming machine. Okay, run this. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is the old one. This is the new one. We're probably going to equalizer. That icon looks a little funny. Okay, so let's lose some real estate and hope our hot reload's gonna work. So you just got the new Mac Mini. The oldest ones. We're using them for builds. The oldest model that will run the latest macOS, and VS keeps crashing. VS, Catalina has actually caused quite a few issues. You'll notice that with lots of apps. So the latest OS, I've ran into plenty. Like I said, my own music app, it just wouldn't work because they changed some of the selectors. So there's lots of things that developers are having to do, ours included, to make Catalina work properly. So I apologize for any of the headache that you're going through, but there's going to be some. There's a little bit of growing pains with this one. They made so many big changes. All right, where's that XAML? All right, equalizer view, content. So, sorry, my nose is itching. Drive me nuts. All right, so let's throw a grid in there. And it's not crashing. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. All right, so inside of our grid, we're going to do grid definition, or we want to do columns first. We'll do 2 columns. Oops. Okay, there we go. Control I to reformat that. Now I need to actually throw something on here so we can actually see something. Just to make sure this is reloading. All right, that is working. I'm going to close this or move this other simulator off screen so it doesn't keep popping up. Okay, I like it. So we have something to build. I mean, we know what we're building. We have columns. Let's throw these in here. So column definition. And we're just going to do 2 of them that are star. That'll be the easiest. And star is the default. So I actually don't even need to do the column definitions. We can just be lazy and say, actually, we're going to start with this label. And I need to figure out how to access my static resource for my strings. Let's Google that because I can never remember how to do that. Okay, so Xamarin.Forms XAML static resource string. There's a way to grab out the static data so I can just say, hey, this value is this. All right, here we go. So I need to grab the namespace. And the namespace on this one is localization, and I can never remember how to add namespaces in here. Not that one. That's the class. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for, is that thing. Let's snag that. Let's put that into here. Hit enter. What we'll do here is we're going to throw in my localization, which the namespace to that is, and the assembly is both called localizations, I believe. And then the assembly is localizations, same thing. And here we're going to change this to, we're just going to call this strings, because that's what I call it elsewhere. Actually, that's going to be weird. Strings.strings, it'll be fine. I don't care. Good enough. Okay, so now we can just say text equals this thing. That's not going to be right. Let's hope it doesn't blow up on me. Oh, it won't till I save. So now we'll just say strings. And I don't remember what that title is. This one is called active, but I don't know what it's called inside of the other thing. Hold on. Let's go to the code behind to check. Excuse me. All right, so if we go into here, we can say strings.accept. Okay, I might have to go check the old code because I don't remember what that's under. So close a bunch of things I don't need. Let's go to gMusic. And inside of gMusic iOS, we have UI. No, there's views. Right? Missing something. Here is equalizer. So we have the equalizer view controller, and then this thing, all of them. Where does it get that? Strings.active. Okay. I don't know why. I was looking for accept. I don't know why I said the wrong thing. All right, so that is the value we need for here. So this should work. Let's save that. Hey, it worked! Active! Exciting! So now that's localized. We need one more of these. And this one is going to be the current oh no, it says default preset. And again, I don't know. All right, it's just default preset. I'm nice and easy normally with my naming. Not always, but now save that. All right, perfect. So what we'll do is we are probably going to do the row definitions because the row definitions are going to be different. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so we're still going to do the row definitions because the bottom one is I just want to take as much space as possible. And the top two are just going to be just small ones. And then the bottom one's going to be a set size because it's a toolbar as well. So actually, I wonder instead of a grid, if we were to do, grid's probably the most efficient. I was just thinking maybe if we did stacks, we told the top two, let's do this as a stack. All right, and then we'll do stack layout. And we will end it here. I'm just trying to think of the exact layout I want and what the easiest way to get that is. And all right, so we'll do that. And now these guys, roll this back over. This is a vertical. This one is going to be orientation equals horizontal. And this one, orientation equals horizontal. All right, so now what we need to do is this one's going to get a switch inside of it. Okay, so this is switch. All right, now if I save this, this should just now hopefully show up. Good, good, good. Let's put some margin on these things. That's looking better. All right, now this we can say horizontal options equals end. Right? That should work. Well, what is going on there? Let's give this thing a background color of, oh, this blue works. Okay, so that is already filling. I didn't need that. But I should be able to tell. Let's ditch this thing. Okay, so that is still going all the way across. Let's make this smaller so we can see all the code. That will help. I thought. No. Well, if we tell this to end. Oh, that looked. The end and expand worked. Okay, perfect. And then we'll be doing the same thing here. This is going to be a label for now, but we're going to need to change this into a button. And that button is going to be the picker. So not sure how we're going to do that control yet. If I bring this other one back, this is a picker. So we're going to have to do that still. When you tap on that, we present the thing and it updates based off what the current one is. For now, let's just give it a button. And text equals, we're just going to say flat for right now because I don't feel like making that work. And we'll say X name. Name is, we're just gonna call this the equalizer picker. Okay, this stuff is not looking right. Let's do, like, that orientation is funky. So we will set these to vertical options equals center. Vertical options equals center. That fixed that. That looks a lot better. Let's do that here as well. Again. Okay, looking good. This is going to get the same horizontal options equals, no, end and expand. Perfect, I'm liking that. Oops, I did not mean to rotate that. We're going to want to make sure we throw some margin in here as well. Equals, let's throw that same margin in there. Clean that up. I actually think I'm going to increase that. Let's go with like 12. See how 12 looks. Do that one at 12 as well too. All right, that's looking good. Let's ditch that Alice blue. We don't need that. I would like those to be a tad bit tighter. It might get better when we throw in, when we throw in the center stuff. All right, so if we do, now let's just say frame. Nice and ugly. Horizontal options equals fill and expand. Vertical options, we're gonna do the same thing, fill and expand. And, oh yeah, nice ugly box. Background color equals, we'll just go with that Alice blue because it's the first one. Now let's throw into here, we need a, we'll do this one as a grid because these ones are consistently spaced. Oops. And, all right, format that, save that code. It did not do anything at the bottom because there's nothing in that grid. Let's say, give it a button, image button, image button, nothing, nothing, nothing. That because there's no. Let's, oh, it uses source. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Ith request equals 30. Let's just give it something. Well, I was hoping. Oh, I need something. Is it underneath that? That could be the case. We also may need a. Let's do that. And then let's put in another box view. And this one, actually, we'll just go. This one is going to have a request of 55. I think that's what it was. I need to find out what that height is. So we offset this entire bottom from that. And I think I have that programmatically somewhere. I don't remember where that's at. But I think we have something that we can grab to set that. Slide up panel. Overhang. It's at 74 right now. So maybe we'll programmatically set that. But for now, all right. Now that frame is ugly. It's intentionally ugly. But that's going to be our middle content, which we just haven't done yet. So that is this thing. And now we have an area for those. Let's just call these buttons for right now. just so we can see them. All right, perfect. And then we're just gonna do on this, we need one. This is the rename. This is duplicate, delete, and revert. Okay. So we're going to just add 4 of these. Oops. Whoa, undo, undo. Enter 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we need to do grid.column. We only need this on the last 3. Why is this complaining? Oh. Alright, so now we're just going to grab this. I should have done that before copying and pasting. Live and learn though. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, save. Perfect. It's exactly how I expect it to be. We need to get those icons in there. And those icons are from the font stuff. And I don't remember how to do that. Xamarin.Forms font icon button. Yes, font icon support is really, really nice. So, yeah, it makes this really easy. Oh, I don't want to do all this stuff. I already have that worked out for me. All right, we're just going to set those in code. Even easier. Yes, tint. That's exactly what's going to happen. So the old gMusic uses SVGs, and I tint the image. So it uses SVGs. And then this was iOS only, and so I was able to tell all the images that they're tintable, because iOS has that built in. I just be able to give the accent color. And so the accent color is actually set at the app level, so I wouldn't have to retint everything. So all of these are tinted, and that's why these have the pink. These I would set at that view level to tint to white, and it just took care of everything from there, which is a really neat feature. I liked the tint feature a lot. So kind of fun. All right, so X name. This one's going to be rename button. We're going to throw in the next one. I don't have my simulator up and I can't remember what those buttons are all. Just going to leave that off screen. X name. Okay, button. Do this one here with X name equals and delete. And then we'll do this one X name. And this one is undo. Oh no, reset. All right, so we have buttons now. We're gonna stop debugging, stop this and go deal with these in code now. That way we can make some more of the stuff work. Actually, we're going to, instead of this frame, let's ditch this and make this. What do you guys think we should do? To make this view, should I use one of the built-in layouts or should I manually do this? Keep in mind each of these are 2 different sets of controls because there's the label that goes with each button, and these are kind of data. They're kind of data bound based on the current equalizer. When the equalizer changes, it can change these. So I can have, like I said, three instead of 10 or whatever. We can add in more, and you can adjust any frequency you want. Yeah, I might just do it as like, yeah, net content viewer absolute layout and just deal with it myself. Maybe we make that a user control now, and then we can just add the user control in here. Yep, it needs to be rotated. And you'll notice when I rotate shadows too, because they things look funny. If not, it looks really funny. Oh, I don't have another volume thing to show. But yes, those are rotated sliders. And the old code wasn't too bad. I made a user control, or maybe I didn't do a user control. I think I made a set current preset, dun dun dun, sliders. Yeah, I didn't even do a user control. I have an array of sliders. Oh, you added a font image source of the thumb to the slider. That's pretty awesome. I didn't know you could do that. I do custom sliders or thumbs all the time, but I've never done with a font. So I have this create sliders, which goes through, grabs how many bands there are, and the create slider in my old one would destroy the old ones, remove the labels, and then create a new list of sliders and labels. And when it would, or that was to clear it, then to create it, it would actually, I used an image to do the rotated. That's what I did, because by default you can't rotate the images. Or you can't rotate that. So I have the rotated handle so that way it looks right. Because you don't want a shadow up pointing upwards. Then I would actually do the transform myself. See it and then add it. We might do the same thing. Of course, not in iOS. All right, let's do it. Yeah, but I have just the image. Yeah. And then laying this out will be nice and easy. So if we do this in its own control, let's just do that. All right, so we will create a new control. Add new control. Not a content thing. We're going to do a forms content view. This one is going to be our, and actually, yeah, I put any controls. Equalizer grid. Um, equalizer sliders. Yeah, we'll just go with that. All right, equalizer sliders. Instead of a content view, I'm going to do an absolute layout because I love this thing. Now I'm going to say public no, equalizer. And what's the hotkey for this? There we go. No. Why not? Did I not add equalizer yet? There's no way I didn't add that data yet. Models, equalizer, equalizer preset. Okay, I'm like, I know I have done that. All right, so equalizer preset. All right, so what about making the slider as a control? I've thought about that. I could do that just in a grid. I don't mind the layout. Either would work. Yeah, I'm not sure which will be less work. Because not doing it as a control, it's super easy to say, yeah, do the layout. So, if you were to copy it, are you more interested in that as a control, the sliders as a user control, or as just this whole thing as one control? The sliders then? Is that what you're saying? Or the whole thing as a control? All right, if you're interested in that, let's make a slider. All right, why not? I don't mind making this easier for you guys to use. Um, and mine gets a label too, so it's going to get a label. The only thing I don't like about this is, no, I'll just do this. All right, vertical slider. We'll do this as read only. Actually, it doesn't like that syntax. It just wants it to be, let's do that. All right. So we'll do that because I also will have a public label. All right, so we'll do this again. I wonder about performance if I could just make this as a stack. Why not? We'll try it. We'll start there. Stack layout. All right. And label. All right, do that. Cause can't I do trans? Rotation. And this is a fine rotation. I can never remember these right. Okay. 90 degrees to, would it be 90? I can't remember. A fine rotation in 90. Here we go. Math that to radians. Dun dun dun. It's just math pi divided by 2. Which transform are they doing there? Alright, center. I have all these written somewhere in my projects. I have these math helpers written somewhere. Nope, that's just making those a fine. Should be in some C# helper class I have somewhere. Maybe under math? Just one of those things that you do and you're always like, I did not see math. Matrix. Alright. Hey, line utilities. That's not mine though. That's something else. It's in WPF. I don't remember. It's in... Oh, well, we're just going to type a number in there and see what happens. Maybe it works like that. Maybe it is in degrees. All right, so we'll do that. We also need to make sure vertical options equals layout options dot fill and expand. Let's give this thing this dot margin equal, or no, padding. Give like a 6. Let's just see how this thing looks. We'll just throw a bunch of these into a grid. And again, I need to steal this using thing. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So we're going to comment that out because we might not even use that view now. Let's go to our equalizer view. All right. So now we can say, instead of this frame, we'll say gMusic, and that thing we just called, oh no, let's do a grid first. We still are going to do this. For now, we'll just throw a bunch of these in here, see what they look like. But we are going to do this programmatically instead because the number can change. Okay. Perfect. Spacing. Do I throw that in? Is it spacing that I'm looking for? All right, so we're just going to throw one of these in here though. Actually, I don't think I need spacing at all because what the thing is each of these are going to center inside their own. So as long as I offset these grid row equals 1. So as long as I do this, I'll be fine. Oops. And we'll just see how this looks, and if this is right. Row? Oh, it's column. You're right. It's column. I would have figured that out pretty quick, I guess. All right, so let's ditch this guy. So it's not needed anymore. All right. Let's give those labels some text. I didn't have to write any math doing it this way. The other way is going to be all layout math. All right, perfect. No, those don't look right. I want those closer together. All right, so on this is fill and expand. And then this one is what? All right, so let's fix that. Let's see if this fixes it. This is one of those where I might make this into a XAML thing just because then I can hot reload as I'm tweaking it. All right, run that. Why are those so small? Start. Do I need to start and expand? All right, start and expand. We'll try that. And the vertical is not an issue. Do I have to do horizontal since I rotated that? All right, you popping up here is getting old. Move you off to the side. Just for kicks. I'm just curious. Oops. See what that does. That's the only downside to using these magic layouts is I don't have the same exact control. Label start and okay. But I want the label at the bottom. So it'd be end, right? Because you'll notice that the label should be like, the labels go right below them. We might drop down and just manually do these. It's really easy math. All right, screw this. All right. All right. Orientation is vertical right in the stack. Yeah, this is vertical because they were on top of each other. It was doing it kind of right, just wasn't, the sliders weren't getting big. So that was our problem. Now I just hope that rotation doesn't mess with my layout, but I don't think it will. All right, so this is nice and easy. We'll just say const padding equals 6. Those need to be doubles for this. All right, so now really easy. We'll say var actually we need to do, all right, so label dot, okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll say var slider height. I just use the same variable over. Height equals, actually that's not going to work because we have that. That's the in height. We need to have a rectangle that we work with. So var rect equals new. Actually, I want to double check this API. I forget this sometimes. Slider dot layout. Does it take a bounds? Yes, it does. A rectangle. Var rect equals new rectangle. All right, and it's going to be, we're just going to leave it as that. Okay. So our rect dot height is going to equal slider dot, no, I don't care about the slider height. I care about text. I care about the incoming height minus label dot height minus, we're going to do padding times 2. Actually, we'll just do padding, and then we'll adjust the padding because I'm not going to use the padding anymore. Yeah, padding times 3. All right, now rect.x equals slider.width. We'll say width minus slider.width divided by 2. All right, so now we have our x. Our rect.y equals padding. And then our width is just going to be slider width. All right, perfect. So now slider.layout rect. Perfect. All right. So now our rect.y plus equals height. No, we'll just say equals, yeah, plus equals height. That's what I want. Height equals label dot height. As long as the label has the right height for its text, this will work. Sorry. Rect dot height, and then the x is going to be rect dot width equals label dot width. Rect dot x equals rect dot width. do that, so it's going to be the same exact code. Dot layout rect. I actually think it's nice to do some of this like this anyway, because it's super, super fast. And there's not very many samples of this happening this way. So people don't see it like this very often. But you have total control and you can put breakpoints and see why the layout's doing what it does. I find it beneficial myself. All right. Why are those heights off? Let's put some breakpoints in. And let's try again. All right. We're going to put one here. Now, I don't know if I go back to that. Yes, okay. That's what I was hoping for. All right. Height. Hey, we have a label height. We have incoming height of 545, width of 66. Okay. So at this point, that puts our slider height at 500. So if this is set at 500, why in the world is it not doing that? My width is wrong. Width. Oh, they've got height and width backwards on this, don't they? It's a stupid rotation, I bet. Yeah. I bet that's our problem. Slider height goes that. That's interesting. That rotated might makes it to where it doesn't know how to lay it out at all. All right, so our new rectangle. My x is not negative now. That's better. Proper width. Let's press play. How many? Oh, there's a bunch of these. I'm like, how many times is it gonna lay out? We had like 4 of them. That's really interesting. All right, so I'm gonna have to set these backwards. All right, that's the problem. I know what the problem is, and I have to do it manually because the other layout can't figure this out itself. All right, so all of these are backwards here. Ah, all right, we're gonna equals that. All right. Equals slider dot width. All right. Okay, so we've got that. And then all this math is wrong too because I'm going to have to mess this thing up. All right, so we'll just say oops, wrong one. It's that rotation. That rotation's getting us, guys. Rectangle slider, slider Y. I bet these need to be inverse too. Comma, slider width, slider. No, these are backwards. Let's see what happens there. The X and the Y's might not need it to be reversed. Because I rotated it. So when you rotate, if you look at my iOS API, oh wait, look, they're tall enough now. Maybe these didn't have to be. It's the rotation. We don't do nice things and handle that math for you. Oh, that's complicated. Not a nice API. So in iOS, when you rotate, I can then, I just throw a transform, right? See, here's where I had to do the make rotation. Math times minus 0.5. And now during layout, where's layout? Create slider, layout. All right, so in each slider, I'm still able to just set there. I'm able to just set them right. I don't have to switch them. And iOS flips them for me. Forms does not do that for me, I'm seeing. All right. I need to know what that point is that I'm moving around. I think this Y is going to be crazy. Let's just see what that does. It might be padding minus slider height. Stupid rotation. Yeah, the problem is there's not. Oh, and I don't have touches anyway. Really? I don't know if I can do this in native forms. Oh, that's useless. Okay. What are we... Let's see what values are being passed in really quick. Make sure I'm not being crazy. Do I have the wrong... No, I've inverted them. All right, height is that. Width is 100. Oh. All right, so that height was the actual height. So I wonder if I change this. We might still have that touches thing. Did that was the spec. Did they actually do the pull request yet? Yeah, I was asked to look at this and I just haven't had time. Not the pull request, but to actually look at helping implement it. But I just haven't gotten. I've been busy with other things. One. So yeah, it'll be nice. It's something I may find time to look at. All right, let's see what this does. So now our rectangle, we have our height is that, width, x, y. All right, that's looking good. Let's see how it lays out. Ah, those are still way off in the middle of nowhere. I wonder if I should custom render this. This should not be that difficult. Vertical sliders. It's been asked before. Yeah, these are doing some crazy stuff. Height and width invert themselves, yep. But he's doing manual layout. He did the width at 300 and the... Wow, this is tricky. All right, well, let's undo everything we just did and let's try it a slightly different way. After reading that, I have another idea. Let's go back to that stack. Yes. New lead. Okay, we'll ignore... Override layout children. Before it lays out, we'll say slider dot min width request equals height. We'll just say width request. See what that does. Wow, I'm just looking at what Keycaster did. It freaked out from all that undo. No. This should be so easy. Oh, and they're upside down. I went the wrong way. Actually, let's stop this. That's still not right. Maybe we'll just do this. What's this? What happens when I do this on Android? How does Android handle this? That's a good, interesting question. I am tempted just to custom render this thing and be done. Ski is sharp. I could draw it. At that point, we're running into our gesture things. And I could implement some gesture stuff. I'm not against doing the gesture stuff. It's just I'm in the process of trying to figure out how I want to do that stuff for Comet. And that stuff already is messing with me. And so trying to figure out for two things at once. There's a couple of things in Comet I'm kind of stuck on trying to figure out right now. Hey, good morning, Lachlan. We are trying to do vertical sliders in Xamarin.Forms, and it is actually very painful. So there's no need to do an abstraction between Xamarin.Forms and Comet. You can put Comet inside of Xamarin.Forms, or you can put Comet inside of, or Xamarin.Forms inside of Comet if you want to go that direction as well. So there's no real need. Yeah, rotation is not the answer. I'm about to custom render it because it's super easy in native. What about the naming? There's different namespaces. Yeah, all the controls, different namespaces. Comment dot whatever, and then Xamarin.Forms dot, and like even things are named differently. Like label is called text in Xamarin.Forms, so namespaces are different. Similar, I mean, and if you do have things where they have the same names, you have both namespaces included, you can always do that whole thing up here. Like we do, let me jump to iOS so I can show that. We do a renderer. Let's just say you want to say, so you can have like using image, or no, so f image equals Xamarin.Forms.image, and then using iOS image equals Xamarin, or no, sorry, UIKit.UI image. Yes, they're different names, but if they had the same exact names, now I have F image and iOS image. And so that's how you can deal with any of that stuff based off namespaces and whatnot. So, but you shouldn't have to do that for most things because, oops, sorry, I'm running over a cable I don't want to destroy. You don't want to do, you don't mix and match at that level most of the time anyway. So it shouldn't be an issue. But yes, I even have a branch of gMusic that has Comet for a couple of the screens. So you can actually see inside of. Yes, Comet would be really nice right now. All right, so GitHub/Clancy. Yes, and being able to watch it change, I completely agree. gMusic.Forms. So inside of gMusic, why didn't it go into that? gMusic.Forms, there is a branch of Comet. So if you clone Comet side by side, you can actually see me doing Comet views in here. So yeah, art song view. I put them all inside the Comet, inside a Comet folder. So you can definitely mix and match it. And where was that? Comet. I did it under views. Comet. I think I put it under, I thought I put it here. Oh, I'm back on master. Comet. There we go. Now we have comets. Comet stuff. So right now it's just a research project. I am pushing it to become something official. We'll see. There's lots of interest inside and outside of Microsoft. So the more vocal people are about liking Comet and liking that model, the better chances I have of having it become something real. So definitely help me promote it. All right, why is the menu not working? My Android emulator is going too slow. Yeah, the equalizers, it did the same thing here. Nice thing is, though, those don't have that ugly shadow, so I don't have that shadow issue. All right, we're gonna custom control this thing. This is not fun to fight. All right, window, close all. Vertical slider, I'm gonna delete this again. Sorry. I don't need any of that stuff. We're gonna do a new one though. And this one doesn't matter. It's going to be called vertical slider. Now I'm not sure how this is going to work on the Android. I know how to do this on iOS though. Super easy. Okay, and now what we'll do is let's just go into iOS, renderers, add new, general. Render, renderer. Yes, it would be nice to have a template just that would automatically add the iOS and Android ones for you and the attribute. I agree. Although the idea with Comet is to ditch the need for custom renders, you shouldn't actually need them. It's kind of fun. All right, so now, yeah, we'll just do this, and I'm gonna go copy my code from old gMusic. All right, yay! All right, now as always, I am lazy, so I'm gonna copy and paste this stuff because it sucks. Sorry, arguing with my 3-year-old over whether or not he needs a lollipop. Figured you guys didn't want to hear that. All right. Actually, I don't want to do this on Android. I want to drop back to iOS. That's where I did the custom renderer. You guys. All right, go have a lollipop. He said, "Yay." Parenting by committee. All right. Wait, what? All right, we're setting the transform. It's the code I used before. Maybe I um Yeah, that's what I was wondering. That's what I was heading to now, is just override when the element's set. Don't know if I need to, but yeah. I'm not sure inside the slider renderer when it sets stuff up. I can see by the namespaces. There we go, that's iOS. When does it create the actual control? All right, control. Set native control. All right, so that's what I need to do is override set native control. Can I do that? Oh, wrong button. And I don't even know what button I pushed. Let's just do this when we turn the slider. All right, looks good. See what that does. As long as nothing messes with the transform inside of there, that should work. Is it running? Is it building? I think something's setting the transform. Might not need that, but I just want to see what happens if we do that. Oh, come on, I'm trying to type something. Hey, check it out, guys! And they're clickable! Now I just gotta do it on Android. I like it. And you'll notice I didn't have to do anything for the heights and widths because since I did it here, the frame automatically adjusts it for you. It knows to flip those based off the rotation. Which is, hey, thanks for the cheer, Lachlan. All right, so we've got that working. We now need to do it for Android. And I've never rotated any controls on Android. Yeah, I need to fix the shadow. Actually, is that? It did it! The shadow matches my rotated one. I think iOS actually does the shadow dynamically now. I didn't have to. I used to have to because it used to end up right over here, which just looked funny. But that shadow's right. Done any F sharp? Yeah, I used to do all my build scripts in Fake. So I used to do a lot of F sharp there, and I've definitely played with Fabulous, things like that. But F sharp makes my head hurt for some reason. I wish I was better at it. When I see people do it, stuff that it's amazing how little code they can write. And Frank Krueger just blows my mind with F sharp. The fact that he wrote an IL interpreter in F#, amazing. It's not my cup of tea, unfortunately. I wish it was. I need to spend more time with it. I'm not cool enough. I'm far from it. The thing is, I can switch languages a lot. Switching between like Swift and C#, no big deal. Dart, C#, Objective C, they're so different and they work so differently that it's easy for my head. But for me, when I'm doing things like F#, I'm still using the same libraries, and then it has all these extra rules. It's harder for me, and everything being immutable, just it's tough for me. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so tough for me. When I had less issues with that elsewhere. No, that's not the rotation I want. Come on. Know what rotation I'm talking about. All right, let's just go look at the Android APIs. Let's just add a render and see if we can figure it out. Doing language. So what language are you doing right now? I mean, if you're doing C# and things like that, I would recommend something like TypeScript. TypeScript's a great second language to learn. F# is a very niche thing. There's people who are so into it and shops that are so into it, but it's a pretty small market. Something like TypeScript is really, really awesome because you're still using JavaScript, except it's strongly typed. So all of that works nicely with JavaScript, and TypeScript's really, really doing awesome right now. Yeah, I love TypeScript. It's how you build stuff. Like if you want to build a VS Code extension, TypeScript. It's really fun. But yeah, check out TypeScript. I'd highly recommend that. And you get to use VS Code, which is really fun. All right, so renders. Let's add in a new one. Add new. JavaScript and C Sharp for me, that's another one where they're too similar. Like switching between the two is really hard because I'm like, this should do this, but it doesn't. If I stick with one or the other, I'm fine, but switching between them rapidly, I can't do that. My brain doesn't work that way. And Java just annoys me of all the things that don't exist in the nice C Sharp stuff. All right. Yeah, JavaScript and like if you're doing like the HTML JavaScript stuff with like and then check out TypeScript, it's TypeScript is hot right now and it's doing really, really, really well. All right. We might be able to just do this the same way. Oh, this is complaining that I need the public vertical slider. Um, base content. That's under Android content. I can't remember where the context lives. Um, I really can't. Okay. Yeah, I mean, functional programming's fun. I really enjoy it in a lot of aspects. That's one of the reasons I'm doing Comet is to try and do some of that more functional style stuff inside of C Sharp. So, no, no, definitely. That's the whole point of doing these Twitch sessions. You can actually talk and interact and ask questions, and we can all discuss it and all get smarter because of it. So, yeah, that's one of the main reasons I'm doing Comet is to try and go with more of that style programming method. Okay. So just a rotation on this? See what happens. Oh, I need to hook that puppy up. So what's nice about naming them identically, I can reuse the same exact attribute. Some other languages that I find really interesting right now are Rust. I wish more things like supported Rust. I like doing VR and gaming and stuff like that, but I don't like I love Unreal Engine and I love Unity. Unity is great because I get to use C Sharp, but I love Unreal Engine as well. And my biggest problem with Unreal Engine is I've got to do blueprints or C++. I really wish they had good Rust or C Sharp support for it. Nothing yet, which is kind of sad. Problem with C++ is it takes forever to not mess up with pointers and memory and just screwing stuff up. So having Rust is pretty nice with that. Go's one that I also want to look into. I hear lots of really good things about Go. There was a meetup up here local or not too long ago that I wanted to go to on learning Go. It's fun to learn other languages. See what you like about them. See what you can bring back to the other ones. See how I can do things like that in C Sharp to make our libraries better. All right, try this Android. See if this works. Come on, Android. Go faster, emulator. Is that? No, I did not. All right, now it's gone. Okay, are those right? Okay, they are. There's just the colors are bad. No, they're not. They're tiny. I might need to override the size stuff. Let's put a breakpoint in here and see what it's doing. It might work like the forms way where it doesn't auto swap everything for you. It shouldn't be too hard to take the rotation and the frame and apply it to a matrix, and out you get is the new rectangle. And now you don't even have to deal with all this nonsense. I'm shocked. I'm going to make sure that works in Comet. So when you rotate and you get a frame, the frame's going to be the actual for layout stuff. Request. All right, these need to be inverted. Size dot request equals new size. Would that concept be the same? Yes, it'd be the same with scale. You just run that through exactly. Yeah. So you'd have like the initial size, and then you'd have like an extension or something to say get the screen size, or I don't even know, because you still want to be able to set the other things individually, so you can still set it. And but when you're getting for layout, you need that size. But yeah, it's you do it in games. Games do it all the time. All you do is you run it through a matrix, and out comes the right thing. It's kind of dumb that stuff doesn't do that. Request dot height size dot request. What's going on with this? What, Chase? I told him he could have a lollipop. I am trying to work. Please let me work, okay? Thank you. All right, so and then they all decide to tell on each other when they see someone else getting something. See what you started by saying give him the lollipop? All right. So let's just rotate those since they're not for us and see if this works. All right, so now, yes, 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 yes. Oh, they're still tiny though. Come on. I said make it big. I wonder if we give this thing a background color. Oh, semicolons are useful. Let's throw that in that and see what happens. Man, this inner depth loop is slow. Hey, okay, so those are the right size. My sliders are bad. Let's see if I can fix that on this side. Hmm. Those are not. Let's go look at the slider renderer. Which one was the Android one? Mac. Android. On layout. Here we go. Yeah, they're doing the heights. They're doing it all backwards. So we're just going to copy this over here and we're going to replace a few things. Bars make things so much nicer. You don't even need the includings then. All right. Okay, I'm going to need to figure out. Wait, let me put breakpoints. We will get this control located. Oh, that's interesting. That's weird they have to set the thumb bounds though. Like, what are they doing? Alright, I just wonder what the frame and all that is anywhere. See if there's anything else I'm missing in here. Maybe I can just override the layout and actually lay the thing out differently. All right, so let's see what's in here. Seek bar. Let's look at base, base, base. Min-max. Does this have the height? Still no height. Okay, let's go to the immediate window. That looks right, actually. I wonder what the problem is. Let's actually just comment out all this stuff and see what it does, because I know the thumb, yeah. Shocked you'd have to do anything with the thumb. Maybe setting the bounds that they're setting makes it to where it's only able to go so big? No. Wonder if that's like a bounding rectangle? No, that has intrinsic width and height, so no, that wouldn't be it either. I'm really confused here. Alright, we still have tiny bars. It rotated the right way. It's just so tiny. Why? Come on. Pop out, fly out. Let's navigate and then go back. Come on, you know you want to. There we go. So slow. This dot control. Let's just oh, excuse me. Yeah, they just did the rotate, but now the height is funky. I don't know if there's anything funky with the height. Aha, right here. They're saying, look, there's an on measure, and they return the height in backwards like we did. Let's is this an is this I just wonder what that'll do. Just invert everything. I just like how iOS does it for me. It's something with it reporting to forms how to do. Nope, the layout is right. No, I don't know. Any day now. See, now's the time. It's perfect to talk about languages and anything else because I'm just waiting on builds. I have no one to sword fight with while I build. Once in a while I do. Kids come in sometimes with swords. Not at the right time though. So yesterday I got a crazy idea and started playing with it. I was like, it's Halloween time and there's all this like everyone deals with this like scary stuff for Halloween. And I was thinking it'd be fun to build a native app for Mac and Windows that would be an overlay. So when it's running, I actually can't see that it's running. And do something with like Signal R, hook up to it so during my stream, you guys could like do an action maybe by whispering a bot or on a website because I don't want to see it in chat. That would cause an overlay to like do a really loud noise and like freak me out. And I thought that'd be kind of fun. I started on it, didn't finish it. Got the overlay working and playing an animated GIF. And that's as far as I got. Didn't do any of the Signal R or the bot or the website. So I'm like, I don't even know what to put on there to try and scare me. Yes, that was an XKCD reference. No, it's definitely an XKCD reference. Now, I have been working while my kids have come in and just like beat me with foam swords. That has happened. It's a risk of working from home. All right. I have no idea how to fix this. Oh, left top. What if we... See what happens if we swap those. Oh, no, no, those aren't right. It's... No, maybe... I don't know. Those could be wrong. No, it's the bot? I don't know. I don't know how to switch those around. I thought that request would have done it. Size dot minimum equals request, or size dot requests. Let's see what happens. Man, I'm wondering how hard this would be to do in comment right now, because we haven't done anything with rotations. It may require a custom handler. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid the need for handlers, or you creating your own handlers, or I mean, it's similar thing as a renderer. They work kind of different, but yeah, trying to avoid the need for those. I wonder if something like, well, until I build rotation support. You should eventually just throw no, we have rotation support. I don't know if it does the frame stuff right though afterwards for layout. Probably not. Our layout stuff has issues in that. But sometime next week, John Lipsky, who wrote the layout for Comet, we're gonna jump on a live stream. We haven't scheduled it yet, and we're gonna work on the layout together so we can get a bunch of bugs fixed. Kind of exciting. Layout's the biggest issue I have right now with Comet. I want it to be very opinionated and just do things and make it look nice. Come on! Anyone have thoughts on how to make that thing get big? You know what? I'm still calling base. I'm still calling that code I commented out. Let's remove that for right now and see if that has anything to do with it. I'm still calling all that. That's WPF, Tizen. Oh. Okay, we got nothing. So it's that method. We know it's that method. That's good to know. Let's look at this. We are getting somewhere. Do I have access to this thing? Finding out. Don't need all this. We know how this stuff works. Measure spec factory. Do I have, that's the, hey, it's an Android view, so yes. Oops, oh, undo. Seek bar. Measure spec factory. All right, so we're going to call the base. That way we still get the measure. And then we're going to redo this thing. Let's see what happens. Let's see what's being passed into that, actually. No, why won't the breakpoint set? Stop. Breakpoint. Run. Deep in the roots of these custom renderers. Should not be this far in the weeds. It should be super easy. Kind of sad it's not. Just checking up on chat while I'm stuck waiting for this to go. Next stop and start, I'm going to take a quick break and refill my water because it's empty. A little bit of melted ice left in there now. All right. Right is 204. Left is 0. Bottom. Oh, this is calling. Oh no, Android views. Bottom. Top. Okay. That actually seems right. Curse this thing. See what happens if we swap it. The only other thing I can think of. All right, let me go for my water. I'll be right back. All right, come back and I don't see controls at all. So swapping that did not do it. Also, while filling my water, it is snowing. It is snowing and it's not even Halloween. It is, yeah, fun. And it's sticking. I'm so not ready for snow. I gotta switch tires around tonight. Convert my tractor to be a snow blower. That's all work I was not ready to do. Alright, alright. I don't know what. I might just say I'm not going to do Android for right now because. And then talk to somebody who knows more than I do about Android layout on Forms. Because this is just silly. Because I don't even see how these line up to that little tiny thing. Hmm. What happens if I do that? Actually, why do I even do that? Just. I'm really running out of ideas. Anyone? Anyone? Thoughts? Why? It's totally ignoring that minimum width. I just wanted to run the inspector this time. I'm going to run and say seekbar.width and seekbar.height after that layout and see what happens. Well, control.width. Sorry, excuse me. All right, so, oops, we're not there. Immediate window. Why can't I click into my immediate window? Hello, clicking something work? I'm stuck in the editor. And I can't undo. Uh-oh. How can I not undo? Time to close this. Close solution, reopen it. Whenever it acts all wonky. Tish probably properly quit it. Yeah, it's blowing my mind why that's not doing anything. All right. All right, here it comes. That's not the one we wanted. All right, so now, all right, I can type there again. Dot width. All right, 0, 0. Height width is 204. Height is 926. All right. And what's getting passed into this? 926. That's the size I want it to be. Then why is it not? Is there another thing for seek bar? I don't know. Unless... No, but when we inverted them, it didn't like that. If we... This was the inverted. No, that's the right one. All right, I'm gonna try this, see if it still draws. If it does draw, I'm gonna invert those two. And if it doesn't do that, I'm just gonna give up for now because I've wasted way too much time fiddling with numbers and layout. All right, they're wrong. Now it's gone. Well, that's really annoying. All right, well, I'm just going to close that for now, and we're going to ditch this fuchsia color. Let's just get going on iOS because Android's not being nice. It's hurting my feelings. All right. Those aren't centered. Oh, those buttons aren't the right ones. Never mind. Those buttons are fine. They don't need to be centered. All right, so let's get some controls going. what we'll do is close all. Let's go to the equalizer view. Let's build this puppy really quick. This should be quick. Let me just double check how often I reset that thing. How often do I call clear? I only do it on a init. Well, if I only do it on a init, why even call clear? That's weird. All right. Perfect. All right, so let's jump into this. We have views, equalizer, and this is what do we call this thing? This is called X name. That's what we want. X name is equalizer grid. We can now goodbye all of you. Ooh, too much, too much. Can now close this guy off. Perfect. All right, now let's jump into here. And we will say do I just do it off an index or do I want to? Oh, I set the labels later. Where do I set the labels actual text though? So I do create slider, does the label, adds it. Oh, that's clear. Create. Band. Where do I get the band? Oh, I just grabbed the right band. I can do that again. All right, so we're just gonna do a create. Actually, let's just pass the band in. Do I call them? That's right. We'll just do int index. And again, we're just gonna have list sliders equals new. All right, so we've got those. We've got those. Now, what we'll do is I'm gonna grab. Do I not have that? Did I do anything with the equalizer yet? I have not done anything with the equalizer yet. And I didn't like the old equalizer, so we're going to rewrite it. So we're just going to go grab from old gMusic, shared. We're not going to grab the whole equalizer file, I don't think. But we have the 10 band. Yeah, see, 3 band or 10 band. You can switch between them. And then here's the static list of all of the values. Do I have band yet? Probably don't. All right, well, let's start by doing Oh, I don't want that as a content page. All right, so what we'll do here is we're just going to create this thing. Equalize, we'll just call it data, not static data. And rename you. All right, and we have equalizer data, public static. And we are just going to grab this band class. It's inside of models. Is it not? I don't know where bands live. Not there. Didn't put it into there, did I? Must have lived under here. Maybe at the... Ah, there it is. It just lives inside of there. All right, so let's get this create 10 band. We'll just drop these in here for now. All right, and now we have bands. Yay! That'll give us enough to start working off of. All right. Perfect. Maybe we will just do the... What I did last time was when I created these sliders. Slider.tag. I use the iOS tag property to tag the index, so that way I could easily tie the two together. So I could say, hey, this slider is this index. That's right, we have a vertical slider. So I can just add it onto that. Equals band dot... Oh, I just do center dot... Okay. Okay. We've got that, we've got that. Nice thing about this index thing though, is it's going to be really nice for our grid to be able to just do, and then slider dot value changed. Nice thing is this is a static view that's always going to be around, so I don't even have to worry about memory or unsubscribing or resubscribing crap because we never remove this thing or add it. It's just going to be there once and always there. Slider dot min equals -1. Slider dot max equals 1. All right, so now what we can do is just say equalizer grid. Oops. All right, so now what we can say is slider, and we can always say the left is going to be index, and top is 0. Now we can do that again for the text, 1. All right, so now those should be added in by that. Vertical option, no, horizontal. Center this stuff. That goes there, that goes there. All right, so now for each var, or no. What am I doing? Ooh, hey, too many things. Lead the wrong things. We can do a standard for each, or we can do enumerable. Range 0, comma. All right, do that. Now we should have sliders. Let's run it. And labels. Gonna need to fix the fonts because they should be a small font. It's gonna be way too big. Oh, come on. Did I do those wrong? Sliders showed up, but my labels did not. All right. Slider. Oh, copy, paste, fail. All right. Old view. Let's see this new view. Don't need that. Hey, that's getting close. Let's give this puppy some margin. The hard thing about live streaming and listening to music, it's so hard not to sing sometimes. Don't I have something with my style nonsense? Um, how did I do my old one? I always have these weird style things somewhere. Oh, I just did a small font of 10. I have nothing that small. We can do detail font. See what that looks like. Style equals Detail. No, how do I use those things? Oh, I did the wrong one. Ah, that's how it works. I wrote that style class thing so long ago. Don't even know how it works anymore. The way I did it in gMusic was most times I had an extension, so I just do label.styleas, and then it would jump through this hoop of getting the current default style. And I should be able to tie into the iOS stuff and tell that default style to change based on what the OS style is. Let's just Google that really quick. iOS 13. Always throw in something like that. Actually, we can check Xamarin. See what our docs say. All right, assets. Don't need to swap assets. Not what I'm. Oh, that's just for the lock screen. I need to be able to detect that programmatically. Here's apples. iOS 13 detect dark mode programmatically. And as hipster, they've got good stuff typically on that. Code. Where's the code? Show me the code. Come on. Man. That's just on replacing the colors. There's got to be a way to tell what it is. Trait collection did change. There we go. Finally, somebody giving it out. All right. Ha ha ha, here we are. All right. Okay, that's what we want to do. All right, so let's hook into that thing. Is that at the app level? All right, I just want to make sure that's still too big. All right, so let me jump into iOS while that runs. Hey, put that down. It's not for you. Whoa, hey. Is that at the view level? All right, that's looking better. Oh, look at that. I was all nice and did like a formatting on those. All right, I just to string that instead of doing that. Let's go back to here. I override it in this method. This to string does the formatting for us. Ah, nice. Okay, let that go. And let's find where to detect this global change. Come on. See if anyone's done anything with this thing. It's at the view controller. All right, so now those look a lot better. Those are centered nicely. I'll probably center this grid because it could be nicer. Let's do... All right, center and expand. Let's go... What was I looking at now? Okay, I want to go check how hard this will be. That's at the view controller level. Can't do that at the app level? Well, that's kind of lame. All right, luckily though, I do have one custom renderer for my slide up renderer, which is a view controller. Boom, do that. All right. Now what we'll do on Great Collection, how do I tell if it's dark mode? What that NS Hipster thinks it, or no, that blog. Okay, interface style at trait collection dot user interface style. Dark, light, unspecified. All right. So now what we can do is say, now we'll just do void set, all right, set default style. All right, perfect. All right, so we've got that. Now we can say, actually, let me look at my, just to make sure I'm doing this right. I have the view, my settings page, and this has theme. And right now I have multiple styles, but I'm just going to say equals, I don't have a way to say which one's the dark style, do I? You know? Is dark. No. This is totally lame, and I'm going to add a to-do to fix this. All right, so now I should even have, oh wait, I need to set that on startup. Oops, not there. Sorry, arguing with a 3-year-old again. All right, so now we have our grid working, looking a lot better. And we also, I thought that would have centered. Are these not, oh, they are clickable, it's just delay. I don't know why I'm having some delay, but they are clickable and slidable. And then let's really quick, without stopping the app, if I can swipe up, something like that. There we go. I don't know what is eating my CPU. This isn't iOS 13, is it? That one's not going to have dark mode. All right. Actually, that's interesting. I thought that would have actually thrown an exception now that I come to think of it. When did trait collections show up? Because this is iOS 12. Unspecified. All right, that's fine. That works. Actually, that's not quite right. Because what if they manually choose the dark mode and they always want dark mode? Now I'm switching on it. Yeah, I should be able to respect the OS version. I can even ditch my selector if I have the OS version, if you're on iOS 13. All right, so let's go to an iOS 13 device, which is not signed in, but that's fine because we can just not sign in and flip the switch. Maybe we only do this if if iOS 13 or higher. I need to finish my dark mode. It's kind of bad. All right, that's running. Let's see how this thing goes. It's current light. I'm glad that's safe to use. Does that not auto-update that screen? Whoa, what happened? Why is album cut off? Radio too. Equalize, setting. All right, that's weird. All right, let's stop and start this, see if that fixes it. That's really weird. And then let's go into the settings, switch to see if this dark mode thing fires. Okay, it fires on load. We're going to, come on, hotkeys. All right, really, that's gonna, is dark is true now. Now false. Why did that toggle? And why did it crash? Oh, I should check the application output before I quit. All right, fires once. Go home. Why is this firing? So what I need to say, if previous collection dot interface style is not equal to this dot trait collection dot user interface. Maybe that's firing for lots of little different changes, like going to the background. Now it'll only fire on that change. Should. Okay. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Cancel. It crashed. Canceling does not like canceling. Where is that? Settings page. Is it this line 40? What's first? Cancel. Oh, right here. If I cancel, it's something else. Let's see what selection is. Maybe it's -1. And I need to say if -1 return. Let's fix that. Found another crash. Problem with rewriting something from scratch, there's so many edge cases you don't think about. If selection equals cancel. All right, fixed. Although this thing might be going away, because if I have a dark theme, dark theme picker built in to the OS, it's not needed. By the time I finally finish and ship this thing, I can probably say iOS 13 and only. All right, fires on startup. Come on, exit the app. Oh, it is firing once. It didn't crash though. Whereas last time, I can't get to the settings. It's still debugging. Come on, simulator. I've never had the iOS simulator work this bad. Where's it live now? And why don't I have a search? You get a search on the real device. This is an iOS 13 device, right? All right, I'm gonna search on my phone because I don't know where it lives. Dark is under appearance, display, brightness. Do we not have that here? Yeah, settings, display brightness. How do I test dark mode on a simulator? Settings, developer. Why in the world is it under a different location? All right, now let's launch my app again, and it fires. Is dark is true. All right, aside from my dark mode being really ugly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh, that's exciting. All right. Yeah, settings developers. Who puts it there? It makes no sense. And I need to actually add dark mode to the rest of the app. But I wonder why these are cutting off. So weird. Maybe that one does just say albums. Did I mess up the root page? That was singular. All right. Yeah, thanks for the settings developers. I didn't see that in chat. Hopefully you beat me to the searching for it. It's just weird. So weird. Okay, so let's commit some stuff. Don't need to do that. We'll do this in stages. Slide up render is going to get its own thing later. Okay, we've got that. And let's iOS 13. Which once I make the UI properly update, it'll be kind of cool because like my phone is set to at night switch to dark mode and day during the light mode. So it just does it based on night and day. So that'll be kind of fun to have my phone auto switch in my app depending when it decides it's time. And I need to make everything use the styles because if it uses the styles, it auto updates. Notice none of that's using the styles because it doesn't auto update. But yeah, really cool. All right. Pretty excited about this. We've made some good progress. It's funny that the settings screen does not properly do it. Yeah. I think I might be done for the day though. I think I've got a lot done. Pretty happy. See if there's anyone streaming we should go raid. But why is that all broken? Let me, one sec. I tried using the Chrome Edge stuff and it totally broke for some reason. See who's on there. Yep, and kid's back. Alright, let's go raid Ted. Raid. Alright, thanks everyone. It was a good stream. We got lots done. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'm going to hit the end and let's go raid. Jittered.